We're gonna go arena very quickly because thank you for coming. We're gonna go arena and play against Facebook friends. Hopefully it loads. So I wasn't prepared to do Facebook friends. Well, it's really slow. So I got Patrick Ewing in a Washington Wizards jersey. Patrick Ewing was a New York Knick, but when in college at Georgetown University, played in Washington D.C. And we're playing live against a real opponent. So I think what I'm going to do, I forgot to do the Facebook friends thing before the live stream. So I think I'm going to go and then later play Showdown. So arena's too slow. Let's give the ball to Patrick Ewing. I don't want that long wait. Slam dunk, Patrick Ewing. Now I wanted to do an all Georgetown team. That's very hard to do because there's no real shooting guard in this game for Georgetown. I could have done Allen Iverson, but then I'd do Allen Iverson twice at point guard and Allen Iverson as shooting guard. So George gives the ball to Patrick Ewing. Nice shot. Very much a lag, but nice shot. So later I'm going to go Showdown. Thank you for coming. I haven't been paying attention because I've been trying to play with this card. So thank you for coming. Scoring with contact. I appreciate if anybody came. We got Patrick. Let's try a slam dunk. We missed that shot. That's okay. Kind of slow. Let's go into spin move. Nice little move. One-handed shot. Very good shot. Thank you for coming. So this is like a tribute, live stream tribute video for John Thompson, who passed away today. And I'm going to play with his best player in the game, Patrick Ewing. Right now I'm actually playing, and but later I'm going to do Showdown so I could talk and autoplay it. One-handed shot. Only a couple seconds left. Let's try a three-point shot to way far away. A bad shot, but we lose this game. The GM sup. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. So we're gonna go and change the jerseys a little bit, change the lineup a little bit. If it loads. Thank you, the GM, for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming. Look at that yearbook token. We're going to open it later. So that Patrick Ewing, he was a lockdown lineup. So we're going to go showdown. So we're going to change it up again. I forgot to link my Facebook account this time. But we're going to go Patrick Ewing. I also have Dikembe Mutombo, so later I could change it to Dikembe Mutombo. Janair Patine, thank you for coming. Yeah, in this video, Coach John Thompson from Georgetown University, a coach, great college basketball coach from the 1980s, 1990s. He passed away today. So there's a tribute video to him. So I'm going to play with his best player, which is Patrick Ewing. Thank you for coming. So we got New York Knicks jerseys here. And then we're going to see if there's a New York Knicks court. I don't really see one. So I'm just going to do showdown so I can talk. Hopefully it loads. And then we can autoplay and just talk. I forgot to link my Facebook account. So, just like the last time at 2020 lineup, I wanted to make a special video. And just like the Clifford Robinson one, I want to make a special video about what has happened in the NBA and basketball world today. So we're in Japanese anime court, and we're going to autoplay it. My normal team and then Patrick Ewing. New York Knicks jerseys I have. My opponent has Golden State Warriors jerseys. Thank you for the person that's still here. Now let's give the ball to Patrick Ewing. Now let's talk a little bit about basketball. College basketball in 1980s, 1990s. And John Thompson. Now college basketball was way intense back then. It's not like today. There was great rivalries in college basketball. One of them is between most of the colleges at the Big East. That's their conference. The Big East. Villanova, Georgetown University, where John Thompson coached. Syracuse. So all these Big East schools, they had great rivalries between each other. And they're very intense rivalries back then. College basketball was much more important back then. So there were a lot more fans back then. Today, it's very different because of the kind of the high school players, or they're one and done, and they just use college basketball. They just play it for 1 year and then they try to make it to the NBA. But back then it wasn't like that. College basketball back then was way more intense. As players, it was very normal for the players to stay in college basketball for 3 to 4 years. So that's why you see Michael Jordan playing at the University of North Carolina, UNC, for 3 years, and other intense, and many great players there for many years playing college basketball. Today, you will not see that. Today, you see one and done players. As Patrick Ewing shoots a free throw. Let's talk a little about John Thompson. Now, there's a picture of John Thompson, Coach Thompson, and Patrick Ewing, the best player he ever coached. And this was after he won an NCAA championship in 1984. That's his first championship and his only championship. And I believe there's a famous picture where he met with U.S. President Ronald Reagan. So John Thompson, along with his best player, Patrick Ewing, went and met President Ronald Reagan. Well, of course, if you know a little bit about him, he's a movie star, was a former movie star. And it was on a cover of that famous picture was a photograph by Sports Illustrated. It was a sports magazine. It was very famous in the 80s. Now let's talk about a little bit about John Thompson. He was born in 1941. Today he passed away 2020. He was 78 years old. Now he was the head basketball coach for the University of Georgetown Hoyas men's basketball team. Now the Hoyas, their mascot is like a bulldog, a picture of a bulldog. They're called the Hoyas. Now John Thompson, when he won that championship in 1984, he would be the first African American head coach to win a major collegiate championship in basketball. So traditionally, most of the head coaches in the NBA and in college basketball were white guys. And there weren't many African American head coaches. There weren't many black coaches. Now, most of the players in the 80s and 90s were African American, but most of the head coaches were white in the NBA and in college basketball. So it was a big deal for him to win, to become a head coach. He's the first black head coach in the Big East. He probably was the first black coach of Georgetown University, and probably one of the rare, very few black coaches in college basketball in the 80s. So Thompson was inducted because of his career, his amazing college basketball career. He was inducted to Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame and National Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame. I believe he was inducted around 1999 when he retired. So he was the head coach at Georgetown University for a very long time. From 1972 to 1999, he was the head coach. So essentially, he was the head coach for almost 2.5 decades at that university. And the university, Georgetown University, a very prestigious university. They have very great academics, and it's very hard academically to get into that school. And of course, his college basketball program, he made it he turned that college basketball program. When he first came to college at University of Georgia, University of Georgetown was not that great of a basketball program, and he turned it into a award-winning program, and they won a championship and went to many Elite Eights, Sweet 16s. Bro, okay. Thank you for listening. If you're still here, thank you very much. And we're still playing against this opponent. Showdown this time. Instead of Facebook friends. I forgot to link my account. Now, a little bit more about John Thompson. So he played in the NBA for a little bit. Didn't play much. He was more of a bench player, role player. But he won 2 NBA championships in the NBA as a Boston Celtic. So, and you know who his head coach was? His head coach was a legendary Red Auerbach. Boston Celtics legend. Red Auerbach, of course, Coach Bill Russell, Coach Bill Cousy, and many other legendary players from the Boston Celtics. So in 1965, John Thompson wins an NBA championship when he was on the best Boston Celtics. In 1966, he also wins a second NBA championship when he was on the Boston Celtics. Now let's look up his team. 1965 NBA Finals. The Boston Celtics, coached by Red Auerbach, defeats the LA Lakers, coached by Fred Shamas. Now, right here I have the stats of that, the box score, sort of that NBA Finals, the 1965 NBA Finals. Now, on the Boston Celtics, the best player is Sam Jones. And sometimes you see Sam Jones a card in the NBA Live Mobile. Now, Sam Jones was the best player on that team, and he averaged 27.8 points a game. Now, the second best player was John Havlicek. John Havlicek, who just recently, 2 years ago, just passed away. Also on the team was Bill Russell, and I think this is an older Bill Russell, and he averaged 17.8 points a game. Another player on that team, very famous, Casey Jones, who's averaged 11.4 points in that game. And then John Thompson was on the team. NBA Finals playing 3 games, and he averaged only 3.7 points. So only 3 points, which isn't a lot, but he was a bench player, role player. Now on the Lakers, of course, at the time, Jerry West was their best player. Jerry West was an amazing basketball player back then, a Hall of Famer and inspiration for the NBA logo. Now, Jerry West averaged 33.8 points a game in the NBA Finals that year. I'm looking at also the Lakers roster, and there's on the Lakers, there's Don Nelson, who will later become the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. He coached Dirk Nowitzki, and he would also later become the head coach of the Golden State Warriors. Stephen Curry's first coach when he's at Golden State. Hold on a second. Let's get rid of these tokens. Now, sometimes Showdown, it takes a long time to wait for the next opponent. So let's go back to Arena. Sorry, I think there's a slow down a little bit. But let's talk about a little bit about more. So John Thompson, by the legendary Red Auerbach, which kind of explains why he became such a great NBA, why he became such a great mentor to many NBA players, and why he became such a great head basketball coach at the University of Georgetown. Now, to play with my multi-year lineup, you have to pay that 50 NBA cash. I'll press the right roster. Now, let's talk about the second NBA Finals that John Thompson wins. 1966 NBA Finals. John Thompson wins his second NBA championship. Now, this is also coached by Red Auerbach. The Boston Celtics defeat the Los Angeles Lakers, coached by Fred Shamas, 4-3. So it's a very close game. It went to Game 7. Let's get into this game very quickly. Now, if you know anything about Jerry West, it took him a long time to win a championship. He kept losing in the NBA Finals. So he was very sad about that always. He was afraid that people would call him a loser. And he would keep losing to the Boston Celtics, who at the time were the greatest NBA franchise at the time. A little bit right there. So Jerry West, 1966, loses again. And Boston Celtics win again. John Thompson's on that team. Bill Russell's on that team. John Havlicek is on that team. Sam Jones, Casey Jones are on that team. All these Hall of Famers. But John Thompson wins his second NBA championship right there. And we're going to autoplay it. So John Thompson doesn't play in the NBA that long. Looks like he only plays for the Boston Celtics for only 2 seasons. And for 2 seasons, he actually won an NBA championship. So compare him to maybe like Adam Morrison on the Lakers. So later, after he retired from the NBA, he would become a head coach at St. Anthony's High School in Washington, D.C. from 1966 to 1972. And coaches that high school team very well. But eventually in 1972, would become the head coach of Georgetown University. And as you've seen from my video today, he coached Patrick Ewing, the greatest player he ever coached, Patrick Ewing. He also coached many centers. Great centers like Alonzo Mourning, like Itembe Mutombo. And he also coached Allen Iverson, who's a point guard, of course, and a shooting guard. Around 1995, 1996, he coached Allen Iverson. And he was very much a father figure to these players. Very much. Now, it's very laggy here in Arena, so I'm not playing well right now. MC Sports, thank you for coming. Coach TJ, thank you for coming. Yes, 2020 was a very bad year. For sure. Okay, let's play a little bit. I'm trying to get back into Showdown, as I forgot to link my Facebook friends this time. So, every time I play an arena match, and it's very laggy. It costs 50 coins. So my lineup, I could have gotten some Georgetown players, like Jeff Green, played at Georgetown University, and Roy Hibbert, and all those players, but it doesn't really fit. Like for example, Roy Hibbert is a center, and then if I already have Patrick Ewing, you can't really fit him inside. They play the same position, and then Allen Iverson. There's a point guard Allen Iverson, a shooting guard Allen Iverson. So there is no shooting guard that played for Georgetown University that I've seen other than Allen Iverson. And if I pick Allen Iverson at point guard, or I put him at shooting guard, I don't think they'll fit. I don't think they'll fit. And thank you for coming. It was like a very messy game. Didn't even score 1 point. Let me hurry up and go to Showdown. In Showdown, you sometimes your opponent. It takes a long time for them to play a game. It takes a long time. So we actually get tokens, and they extended this promo. Let's get to the game and then autoplay and just talk. So for any college basketball coaches, it takes a long time for them to win. You know, they say Rome wasn't built in a day. So it takes a long time. They don't immediately win. If you look at Mike Krzyzewski, and the head basketball coach of Duke University, it took him a long time to win. And same thing with John Thompson. So he comes to the Georgetown University in 1972, 1973, and they have two losing seasons in the beginning. Then 1974, 1975, they make it to the NCAA Division I first round. And then they make it again in the first round again the second year. For the second year. Then they lose again. Then they play in the NIT game, which is what happens when you lose. Then they made it in the first round again. So not many winning seasons. We're not what we know of Georgetown University today. Georgetown University, well, maybe not right now, but they're like UConn, they're like UCLA, they're like Duke. They're a great college basketball program. So Georgetown, in the beginning, they were a Division I team, but they're independent. From 1972 to 1979, they're an independent team. Now Georgetown later will move to the Big East Conference from 1979, 1999. And if you know a little bit about that, the Big East Conference was probably the greatest college basketball games were played there. And the greatest rivalries. Georgetown against Rollie Massimona, Villanova University, and Syracuse, and all those teams. So 1979, 1980, they make it to the Elite Eight. So they finally have a successful season. Then 1981, 1982, they make it to the championship game, but they lose, and they're a runner-up. Then, of course, 1983, they finally win a championship. 1983, 1984, they win the NCAA Division I championship. In the second year, they come back and they're a runner-up again. And by this time, Patrick Ewing goes to the NBA, drafted by number one pick by the New York Knicks. And then he loses a lot of other players. And then they're not as great anymore, but they still make it to the Elite Eight. And now it's more second round, Sweet 16, first round. Very normal of many college basketball coaches. And then in 1999, he retires. John Thompson retires. He is replaced by his assistant coach. I believe his name is Craig Eschernick. After Craig Eschernick coaches a little bit, they don't really win much either. Then John Thompson's son ends up being the head coach. And recently his son was fired, and they have different coaches. And Patrick Ewing, the greatest player to ever play at Georgetown University. Patrick Ewing is now the head coach of Georgetown University, Hoyas. Rest in peace, John Thompson. Yes, rest in peace. Score a little bit. Couple of seconds left. All right, let's play another game. King of Keys, thank you for coming. Yeah, it's very sad. Recently, many celebrities and famous head basketball coaches have passed away. Yeah, it's very sad, yes. Yeah, many people are passing away. And it feels like every day there's somebody that's famous that passes away. Now, Lou Olson was a great, legendary head basketball coach at the University of Arizona. Very similar to John Thompson. And he just passed away a couple days ago. And today, of course, John Thompson passed away. So two great head basketball coaches passed away in a couple days. Very sad. And Chadwick Boseman, star of Black Panther, movie star, he also passed away recently. And Cliff Robinson, who played for the Portland Trail Blazers, recently just passed away as well. So, a very strange year, 2020. Now, the whole point of this video is to give the ball to Patrick Ewing, to play with Patrick Ewing, number 33, New York Knicks legend, and Georgetown University legend, Patrick Ewing, makes the scoring with contact shot. And I didn't change my team from last time, so my team will show Portland Trail Blazers because I played with Cliff Robinson. So this video is sort of like a special video. Patrick Ewing with the shot. Patrick Ewing with the defense misses that shot, unfortunately. Now I have Dikembe Mutombo, and then later, if it doesn't lag, I will play a little bit with him. Huge dunk from Patrick Ewing. Now let's give the ball to Patrick Ewing, number 33. Now Patrick Ewing, that was a really nice animation. He's setting a pick. My opponent has a Wilt Chamberlain. He misses that shot, but he's in Golden State Warrior jerseys. You don't see that a lot. Throwback, Golden State Warrior jersey. Patrick Ewing was slam dunk. Very nice shot. I think I'm the only person here, so we're going to continue this game till 1 hour, 2 hours, until my phone battery ends. Patrick Ewing, great player with his long arms, quite underrated player. Unfortunately, he never able to win a championship because he played in the 90s, and Michael Jordan dominated the 90s, right? Now, one year he almost won a championship. The year that Michael Jordan retired. So 1994, 1995. Patrick Ewing and New York Knicks almost win a championship, but they lose to the Houston Rockets, led by Hakeem Olajuwon, and loses 7 games. And the New York Knicks at the time, in the 90s, was coached by none other than the Laker legendary coach, Patrick Ewing. Pat Riley. Their names kind of sound the same, right? Pat Riley coached Patrick Ewing. Now, what I love about Patrick Ewing, of course, is his long arms, his long hands. There's a picture of Patrick Ewing celebrating at Madison Square Garden, which is the mecca of basketball, right? And then you see the picture of his long arms celebrating, very happy. The Knicks just won, and people are applauding him. And that's a beautiful picture. If you ever see that picture, if you look up the New York Knicks and Patrick Ewing, beautiful picture of Patrick Ewing. Now, Patrick Ewing will play for the New York Knicks for a long time. But eventually, when he was older, he got traded. This first team that he got traded for was the Seattle Supersonics. That Gary Payton, I think Gary Payton was still on that team. Seattle Supersonics. So, it's strange to see. The Seattle Supersonics, of course, do not even exist anymore. But there's a number 33 Patrick Ewing jersey. And it's a beautiful jersey, those New York Knicks jerseys. And we actually win this game, which is great. We win this game. Now, I think it's time for me to exchange Patrick Ewing and put in Dikembe Mutombo. Now, first of all, let's change our teams a little bit. Last time, Clifford Robinson, I picked the Portland Trail Blazers, but now let's pick New York Knicks. Very quickly. Now, also a lockdown player. That's John Thompson. He was like 6 feet 10 inches tall. So he's a big man in the NBA as well. So there's no surprise that he will coach many great big men in the NBA. He'll coach many great young big men in college and then who will eventually have long careers in the NBA. Now, Dikembe Mutombo actually played for the New York Knicks a little bit, but he's most known for being a Denver Nugget and for Atlanta Hawks. And of course, he played a little bit with Allen Iverson, also a Georgetown University alumni. So Georgetown University alumni Allen Iverson, Dikembe Mutombo, around the 2001 NBA Finals, played together, but lost to the LA Lakers, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kobe Bryant. Rebounder, yo, what's up? Thank you for coming, Rebounder. Thank you, Rebounder. I appreciate. How are you? So the head coach at John Thompson just passed away today. So I wanted to make a tribute video for him. And I was going to use Patrick Ewing. But since you just came, I just changed him for Dikembe Mutombo, a card I also have. And Dikembe Mutombo was also played at the University of Georgetown. He also was coached by John Thompson. And if you know a little about Dikembe Mutombo, he's from Africa. And if you know a little bit about his humanitarian causes, Dikembe Mutombo has donated and helped so many people, donated so much money to help people from his home country in Africa. So Dikembe Mutombo, a really great person, and he learned a lot from his head coach, John Thompson. Dikembe Mutombo drives in for a shot. Known for his defense, known for his blocked shots. John Thompson passed away. John Thompson was a head coach at the University of Georgetown, and he coached Dikembe Mutombo. And he coached Patrick Ewing. Yo, I hit my first 1,000 views. What better way to celebrate when watching victory yet? Thank you. Congratulations, Rebounder. Congratulations. That's awesome to hear. I'm happy to hear that. 1,000 views. And thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Let's autoplay a little bit. All right. Now, the Georgetown big men. John Thompson was a tall player, 6'10". And again, he played in the NBA for the Boston Celtics for 2 seasons. His head coach was Red Auerbach, who coached Bill Russell, Bob Cousy. And so, because of that, John Thompson was a great head basketball coach in college as well. He was very good at coaching big men, as he was a center himself. He was 6'10". So this is no surprise that he will coach Dikembe Mutombo. He will coach Patrick Ewing. He will coach Alonzo Mourning. All these great centers who are very good at blocking shots. Very great defensive players. As John Thompson was known for his defense. So no surprise there. Now Shaq says something quite funny. Now Shaquille O'Neal played for the University of Louisiana, LSU, and he played against all these centers as he was the opposite team. And he says that these centers, when he's guarding them, says something funny, that they always have some kind of they always have that one move, that one-handed hook shot. So that's why because of John Thompson, he taught him that one-handed hook shot. Taught Dikembe Mutombo, and he taught Patrick Ewing and he taught Alonzo Mourning those shots. So they became very great defensive big men. Now let's play another game. Autoplay it. Now let's not talk about the Big East Conference. Back then, around the 1980s, 1990s. Very heated games, very passionate rivalries. Those teams. And I insist you, if you're a younger viewer, to go back on YouTube to check out the highlights from the 1980s, 1990s college basketball. Big East probably was the best conference back then. Of course, John Thompson was the coach, and Georgetown University had a rivalry with many other universities, like Boston College, like Villanova, like St. John's, like Syracuse, like Seton Hall, like UConn. And see, right now on my computer, I have a list of all these great head basketball coach. Like Jim Boeheim from Syracuse. PJ Carlesimo from Seton Hall. Rolly Massimoni. Jim Calhoun. So many. Leonard Hamilton. Thank you for coming, Rebounder. I appreciate it. Have a great time at school. Kevin, what's up? Thank you for coming, Kevin. How are you? Good luck in school, Rebounder. I appreciate anybody that came. Let's give ball to Dikembe Mutombo, of course. Great player. I remember I first got that Dikembe Mutombo card. It was in Thanksgiving promo. And we had to pick between Dikembe Mutombo or Jason Tatum. And it was either 89 overall card, and I got Dikembe Mutombo because I love these old school veteran players. And Dikembe Mutombo, of course, plays really well. Big center, big man. Now, people say Dikembe Mutombo, people sometimes make fun of his voice, but it's a very nice voice. And he talks a little bit like Cookie Monster from Sesame Street. I think I'm the only one here again, but that's all right. Now that Dikembe Mutombo, I'm gonna look him up a little very quickly. Dikembe Mutombo was born in the country of the Congo. So it's Congolese, a country in Africa. Mike Bibby with the ball. Slam dunk, Mike Bibby. He's 7'2". So he's 7'2" tall. Very tall player. Of course, he played for the Denver Nuggets, Atlanta Hawks, Philadelphia 76ers, New Jersey Nets, New York Knicks, and Houston Rockets, his last team. And he retired in 2009. And I remember watching Dikembe Mutombo mentoring a young Yao Ming and being friends with him. And Dikembe Mutombo, a great mentor. Seems like a very funny person and a very great basketball player. In 2015, he was inducted to the Naismith's Memorial Hall of Fame. Well deserved, Dikembe Mutombo. And you see those beautiful rainbow colored jerseys that the Denver Nuggets have. Well, Dikembe Mutombo wore those jerseys first. As the Denver Nuggets at the time wore those jerseys. Now, of course, Dikembe Mutombo makes that shot, but is not known for his offense, known for his defense, of course, and his block shots. Now, let's look at his All-Star game appearances. Dikembe Mutombo made the All-Star team 8 times in his career. First time 1992 and last time 2002. We win this game. And he's a four-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year. One in first in 1995 and one in last in 2001. So pretty amazing. So John Thompson definitely helped mentor him and teach him his defense. For sure. No, not only was he a great player, he's also a great humanitarian, as he has helped donate to charity and other. Has donated a lot to his home country to help out his country of the Congo. Now let's play a little bit more with that Dikembe Mutombo, then I'll change it back to Patrick Ewing. Thank you for coming. Now 47 minutes. My opponent, I think, has Serge Ibaka, power forward card. We're an even matchup. Now these are two teams that Houston Rockets Toyota Center court and New York Knicks jerseys for me. Those are two teams that Dikembe Mutombo played for. Great player. And if you look at John Thompson and my thumbnail and Patrick Ewing kind of holding each other, embracing each other, hugging each other. They were like father and son. So John Thompson was like a father figure to many of these centers, these great NBA players. Dikembe Mutombo, a huge slam dunk as I talk. Let's go back and talk a little bit about Patrick Ewing. Now, Patrick Ewing right now is the University of Georgetown head coach. So he was hired there. So Georgetown University, they hire a lot of their alumni. For sure. As of course, the 80s and 90s was their glory days. John Thompson. Now, Patrick Ewing, he was born in Kingston, Jamaica. Born in 1962. He was age 58 years old. He's age 58 years old right now. Of course, he was the first pick in the 1985 NBA draft. He was drafted by New York Knicks, of course. And he played as a New York Knicks from 1985 to 2000. A very long time. And briefly played with Seattle Supersonics. He was traded there 2000, 2001, as I've said before. In 2001, 2002, Orlando Magic. He played there. Patrick Ewing, of course, Hall of Famer. Amazing center, amazing player. He was 11-time NBA All-Star. First time he made the All-Star team was 1986. Last time, 1997. He was also NBA Rookie of the Year, 1986. He was 3 all-time NBA All-Defensive Second Team. He was a 6-time All-NBA Second Team. And he was All-NBA First Team. Wow. His number 33. He was retired by the New York Knicks. Of course, he was also NCAA championship in 1984. 1984, he led the Patrick Ewing led the Georgetown Hoyas, Georgetown University, their first title, first NCAA championship. And of course, John Thompson will win his first title there. First title with Georgetown University, and their only title. And they defeated the Houston Cougars in 1984. Let's look at the score of the championship game. Georgetown wins 84. Houston Cougars 75. So 1984 NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship. As I said before, college basketball back then was a much bigger deal. Partly because now, today, college basketball has all these one and done players. So only there for a year. They're trying to make it to the NBA, which I understand. But they're only there for 1 year. But back then, it was expected. It wasn't a rule. It was expected that you play college basketball for 2 to 3 years. In fact, it was probably more like 3 to 4 years. So you will see many great players back then stay in college until their junior, senior year. And Michael Jordan stayed in college for 3 years, his junior year. This is something that you will never see today. Most of the great college basketball players immediately go to the NBA. So, in that sense, there was more because they could stay in college more. They got better every year. So, the players were essentially better back then. Or at least the college basketball games were better back then. There's more competition. And also, maybe it's because of the 80s and 90s, there was less channels back then. There's only 4 channels: NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox. And there was no real cable back then. Not really, or early ages of cable. And there was no internet. And it feels like college basketball back then was just a much bigger deal than it is today now. In fact, I don't even think many people have TVs now. Yeah, so RSP, son, yo, thank you for coming. And did I pronounce your name right? RSP, son? I just want to check. Thank you for coming, though. There we go. Showdown game's kind of slow. I think last time you said RSP and then the son. So if you want to tell me. Very slow. He has a Nasir Little. Rarely see this card. I think he's rookie player for the Portland Trailblazers. Very slow. So we're gonna hurry up and hopefully this game continues. Oh, this is very laggy. I understand, and trying to wait till the next game. Thank you for coming. If anybody just came, we're gonna hurry up and get this game over with. RSP, son. Thanks for telling me that. Thank you. I'll hurry up and get this game over with, and then I hopefully I can hurry up and play the next game. It's very slow. Oh, but we have this Patrick Ewing slam dunk right in time. Oh, we're tied. After all that, we're tied. And I want this game to kind of end. So that's a backcourt violation, of course. I think he's lagging, and we're both lagging. It's quite funny. And I could actually win this game. It's very funny. Come on, Patrick Ewing, slam dunk, Patrick Ewing, Pat Ewing. Guard him, guard him. Patrick Ewing with the shot. Shot clock violation. And we get a block shot, and he threw it all the way half court. So today I'm going to do a gameplay later tonight. And I'm going to premiere it, and it's me, Aaron Gordon. We got the 108 overall yesterday. Or actually today, I think. I got it. Nice dunk. And we're actually winning. I can't believe it. With all that lag, we're actually winning. Thank you for the person that just came. Come on. John Collins. Walks right into it. Oh, slam dunk. One-handed slam dunk. Wow, we're playing so well. With all that lag. And I wanted the game to end. This is like my best game. Make the shots alright. Because we already won the game. Just inbound the shot. We could shoot a three. That's okay. So like I said, college basketball back then was way more intense. If you just go look at highlights or documentaries, ESPN documentary, sports documentary, back then college basketball was incredibly intense. Incredibly intense. So hopefully we go back to showdown. Without this lag. If anybody wonders why didn't I have an Allen Iverson card, he played at Georgetown. It cost too much in the auction house. That's why. Campaign to showdown. Cost too much in the auction house to buy all these cards all the time. I exchanged Dikembe Mutombo with Patrick Ewing. This lockdown lineup. Intelligent Giant, thank you for coming. Yes, it has been a very sad year. How are you? I hope you are well. And John Thompson, head coach, the legendary head coach today, passed away. And which is why I'm doing this video as a tribute to him, using his best player that ever played at a University of Georgetown, and that is Patrick Ewing, the New York Knicks legend. You have online school. Thank you for coming. And I just want to say, Clarence, KD, like I added my league, right? And I added you. I added your username. But I don't know if you see it or not. But you said you wanted to play 1-on-1 against me, Clarence KD. I've been busy this week. But I added your NBA Live mobile name. I think your team is the Lakers. Clarence KD. I think your team is the Lakers. My name has added you. I don't know if it works or not, but I think you haven't accepted yet. I don't know. It's kind of confusing, so yeah, that's what happened, basically. You said you're good. Happy. I see it, but it said user already existed. I don't know why. That's strange. That's very strange. But yeah, it looks like you saw that added you, and I don't know why that is. So, all right. Sorry I can't play you, but uh, have a great day. Good luck in school. I start online school on Wednesday. That's awesome. What are you studying right now? Intelligent Giant. Yeah, I know that a lot of people now are going to school now, or they're going to work now. The country is opening up, and thank you for that, Intelligent Giant. I appreciate it. Yeah, still grinding YouTube every day, every night. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Also, I really liked your video about the Super Mario Nintendo on the getting a picture of him on Microsoft Excel. That was very creative of you. I haven't really played many Nintendo games before Super Mario, so I don't know if that name is correct, but he is very famous. I played Pokemon a lot before though. I haven't really played the Donkey Kong or Super Mario, Super Mario Brothers, and things like that. So I appreciate it, Intelligent Giant. And good luck with your classes. Good luck with school. Patrick Ewing, hopefully one hand is shot. Oh, you said it was on Google Sheets. Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes I get confused. They're very similar, Google Sheets and Excel. Yeah, it was a very interesting video, very creative, and you should make more of those videos when you have the time. When you have the time, you should make more. Yeah, they are very similar. Microsoft Excel was created a long time ago, like in the 90s or something. And then I think in late 2000s, Google created like Google Drive and Google Sheets, which I think people use more. I think people use more Google Drive today because in school it allows everybody to use it and share it. And Microsoft Excel is sort of like an old fashioned. Now it's an app, but back then it was a program on your. If you have a Microsoft Windows computer. Yeah, good luck in school, Intelligent Giant. And I'm still gonna go maybe for another hour just because the live stream is pretty good. Good connection this time, which is very rare. So I'm gonna try to play more. I think someone just came. Thank you for coming. Also, if you need to study, you need to go do your schoolwork. Please go do that. Just come when you have time. I appreciate all your support, Intelligent Giant. I know it's quite tiring. I've been making a video every day and live streaming every day. So it might be quite tiring to watch all that. So I appreciate any support that you have. And I hope San Diego is all right. It's good right now. And stay safe as well. I'm Emil James. I am good. How are you? How are you, James? So this is like a special lineup. But essentially, I want to play with Patrick Ewing today. Because John Thompson passed away, and he was the University of head coach. The Georgetown University head coach. And Patrick Ewing was his best player. Oh, I also want to say Michael Jordan today. He played at University in North Carolina. He also wrote something on social media as a tribute to John Thompson. So he really respected John Thompson as well. Even though they're a rival university. He was an amazing head basketball coach. And at a time when there were not many African American head basketball coaches, John Thompson was a coach in the 80s. At the time, very few African American basketball coaches. Now, my opponent had a player that fell down, and Patrick Ewing. I was trying to dunk, but it ended up being a layup shot. Now, EA extended their promo, so it looks like a lot of people have more than 108 players. But for me, I haven't been playing that much, so I just got my 108 today. And I got Aaron Gordon. Thank you, Intelligent Giant. Thank you for the comment. I appreciate it. Oh, fine, brother. Thank you. I am Mo James. I appreciate you coming. Markelle Fultz. Now, Markelle Fultz for the 76ers was a bust, but now he's playing on the Orlando Magic, and he's their point guard. So I think he has redeemed himself, and now is a very great player. Pretty good player on that team. I wouldn't say great yet, but I think he's the point guard for the Orlando Magic, but I don't really get to watch the Orlando Magic much. So hopefully he's playing well. And hopefully in the future he plays even better. Maybe he can make an all-star team or something like that. Hopefully. I've always felt sad about certain players that become bust. And people always make fun of them. Like Kwame Brown. Darko Milicic. I always feel sorry for them. Anthony Bennett. I always feel sorry for them. Even though they're millionaires. I'm still quite sad for them. People keep mocking them, making fun of them. Just because they're bad at basketball. And some of them, they're not even terrible. They're not even bad at basketball. They're just not that great. And they still are playing in the NBA. And it's very hard to make it to the NBA. But just because they're not Kobe Bryant, they're not Michael Jordan, but people just make fun of them, which is kind of sad. I remember DeMar DeRozan, after they lost. The Toronto Raptors lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And he had a bad game or something, and people were making fun of him. And he's a multi-year All-Star, DeMar DeRozan. But they're still making fun of him, mocking him. He's a better basketball player than most people. Rest in peace, John Thompson. Patrick Ewing thought of him as a father figure. Yes, Patrick Ewing and Allen Iverson and Dikembe Mutombo definitely saw John Thompson as a father figure, as their father, as second father. Intelligent Giant, for privacy reasons, I don't really want to talk about that. on the live stream. But if you leave me a comment or something, I'll tell you later. This year is too unlucky. Did anybody call the Irish? Yeah, 2020. It's been a very horrible year. And I think there's 3 more months. Tomorrow's going to be September. And then hopefully it's 4 more months left, right? Yeah. And it went by very quickly as well, I find. 2020, so many things have happened with the virus and then Kobe Bryant's death. And death was so many celebrities and many people as well due to the virus. And no more traveling pretty much. Airlines and not many airlines, not many people are gonna fly anymore. Although it is opening up, but that's kind of the world we're living in. And if you like history, I believe that in 5 to 10 years, in 100 years, people will be very fascinated by this year, 2020. So it's kind of a strange time to be alive, and also people will be fascinated how we survived, how we lived in 2020. I definitely think that. So in your history books in the future, people will be like, will ask you questions because of the virus, especially. How we're all locked down for like 4 or 5 months. Yes, it is. It's a terrible year, of course. We're lucky to be alive. As many people have passed away this year. And it really feels like it's out of a movie. There's a movie called Contagion. I never seen the movie. It stars many famous actors. Kate Winslet, Marion Cotillard. I think Jude Law or somebody's in that movie. And it's also about, back then, like a virus infecting the world. But that was like a science fiction type of movie. Never expected that to happen in real life. The Hollywood writers cannot write what is happening in real life right now. So it's a very scary time, of course, to be alive. Oh, and also, if you saw the VMAs yesterday, the reason why I made that video because I saw Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande and all those famous singers in those face masks. Very strange looking face masks and singing in those strange face masks. They're very beautiful looking face masks, but I know that Hollywood people are quite weird and then their singers are quite weird and they wear all these weird clothing. So I expected them to kind of decorate, be very creative with their face masks. And most of the people were just black face masks, but Lady Gaga, of course, made some really weird looking face masks. Are those face masks effective? I don't know, but it looked really nice on TV. And also, this was basically sort of like the first award ceremony, the famous award ceremony that Hollywood has celebrated since the lockdown and stuff. So it was very strange to see. So I guess in the future there'll be a lot of singers performing, and especially if they have backup dancers performing in strange looking face masks. And that's why I kind of made that video, because strange times we're living in 2020. Thunder beat the Rockets. That's awesome. NBA gameplay. You didn't see the title. Rest in peace, John Thompson. Yes, John Thompson passed away. And that's okay. That's okay. As we were talking about basketball, the Thunder beat the Rockets, so the Thunder tie the Rockets. Are they going to Game 7, I believe? I know tomorrow, Tuesday. Usually Tuesday night on ABC, it's rare to see an NBA game on Tuesday night if you have ABC, Channel 7. On cable, it happens a lot, but for a regular channel, to have a playoffs that night, kind of strange. Now, I'm going to wait for my opponent. So Thunder have tied, Oklahoma City Thunder have tied the Houston Rockets. They won 104 to 100. The series is tied 3-3. Congratulations, Oklahoma City Thunder. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We're going to hurry up and play a game. Congratulations, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Chris Paul and Lou Dort. Luens Dort. Trip Productions, yo, thank you for coming. Yes, hopefully the virus affecting the world, hopefully we can find some kind of medication or antidote for it, and then hopefully the world gets better. But it's very strange times that we're even talking about that. Yeah, Game 7, 3-3. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander only had 10 points. I think CP3 hit a mid-range shot for a lead. Congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm very happy for you. And I'm very happy for Chris Paul as he got traded. From the Houston Rockets, Oklahoma City Thunder, and then seeing that they can upset the Houston Rockets, I'm very happy to see that. Very happy to see that. Now my opponent has these Philadelphia 76er jerseys. I believe they're Philadelphia 76ers jersey, and they're white, but they look strange color. A little bit yellowish color. And this is arena against a real life opponent. I actually made the 3. Wait, you can autoplay it? You can autoplay it? No. Yeah, so I have to play this right now in real life. An NBA gameplay you were talking to me about a long time ago. I didn't even know who he was. Lou Dort. Luens Dort. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He's Canadian. And he's really doing a great job defending James Harden. He's a shooting guard. And I've been trying to find an NBA Live Mobile if there's a Lou Dort card. And I don't see it. I don't think he's in the game yet. But they're probably going to add him to the game. He's only a rookie. I believe he's undrafted. From Arizona State University. Which is the same university that James Harden played for. So they're both alumni from that university. The Pac-12. Back then called Pac-10. And I don't see a card. I don't see a silver card, gold card of Lou Dort. So I'm quite disappointed. I see David Noel has a card. Yeah, Patrick Ewing. Finally get the ball. Slam dunk. Keep pressing that, okay. Basketball videos, hi. Thank you for coming. I appreciate the support. James, so yesterday I uploaded gameplay for the video. Yearbook 2020 Master Aaron Gordon, but after uploading, it crashed. Oh, sorry to hear that. I just got the Aaron Gordon today. And maybe tonight I'm going to try to make a video. Yeah, I know Aaron Gordon has a black sleeve. That's only like a new feature he has, but Yeah, Aaron Gordon. I also got that card as well. Yeah, he's a 3 and D guy, shutting down James Harden. Yeah, he seems to be like, in terms of the media, the star of your playoff series. I think he's only being paid like 157,000 right now, so he's gonna get a higher paycheck, a pay raise. But Oklahoma City, that are, if they haven't already, they're gonna give him a big contract deal. IMO James. If they saw a video, they will know. Sorry to hear that about your video. It's because we signed him halfway through the year. Oh, you already signed him, huh? Hopefully NBA Live Mobile will add him to the game. I'm pretty sure they have his rights. For sure. As you see, they have rights of many different players. And that might be the reason they just got his rights. So he just signed halfway. Yeah, I've been trying to find him. I thought there was a card of him. If you look at the silver cards, right now in the auction house, it's actually going for a lot. But you have some silver cards, or you go and look in the auction house. There's a lot of players that are not very known players. A lot of them are there. But Lou Dort is not in the game yet. IMO James. Yeah, the sleeve. There's a black sleeve that I noticed Aaron Gordon has. I think it's new. I think it's quite new. I'm not sure if it's new or not. I don't really play with Aaron Gordon much, those cards. But I think that's a new feature. And happy if they add something new. As I always say, the shoes, I hope they add new shoes or change the color of the shoes to make something new. So we have something new in the game. I know they fixed Kevin Love's hair. And I know sometimes that Lonzo Ball, if you look very closely, his arm, they added tattoos to his arm. Because Lonzo Ball, I looked at my old video, he did not have any tattoos in his arm. And also, NBA Live Mobile, if you look at your old cards or some of the gold cards, sometimes they'll change the card art, change the picture. If they have a new team or something like that. Let's go back to Showdown. Because I want to see Patrick Ewing again. I'm grinding for that 105 James Harden. Good luck. And hopefully you could get it in the sets. I think there's almost 1 day left. Hopefully you get it in the sets. Iverson also has it too, I think. Allen Iverson, he's known for his black sleeve. I think one time he injured his arm, Allen Iverson, and he wore a black sleeve, and he's known for that. So Allen Iverson is known for that black sleeve during his playing days. And Allen Iverson, of course, played for John Thompson at the University of Georgetown. You got Aaron Gordon 3 days ago. Congratulations. Awesome job. You almost got a second player? The second 108 yet? I haven't been, or maybe a 107. Amazing job grinding the game. If you almost got Aaron Gordon. Rebounder, hello. Thanks for coming back. How are you? Are you at school or are you at home right now, Rebounder? We're playing against a person. His name is Butterflies. And he also has some new jerseys. Those Washington Wizard jerseys. City jerseys, I believe. You grind that from the NBA Returns promo, the jersey section. And of course, Washington, D.C. is where Georgetown University is at. And of course, Patrick Ewing played for the Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. And I've been looking up on YouTube, Washington, D.C., Georgetown University. They have Einstein Bagels there in their cafeteria or their fast food restaurant. I don't know if you guys have Einstein Bagels. Yeah, Intelligent Giant. I'll talk to you about that privately. Maybe leave me a comment or something. I'll talk to you about it. That's 2 days left. Oh, very interesting. So you could probably definitely get a 107, maybe a 108 if you keep playing. They like randomly extended the promo. It was quite random. As I said with the black sleeve, most of the time I feel like EA hasn't really changed that much in terms of the players. They had a superstar style, but that's very hard to get. But then they haven't really changed that much from 2016, so they all look the same. So Mike Bibby, he has a headband, white headband, and I believe he always had the headband for like 3 years ago. And these shoes, of course, as I said in my other video, Isaiah Thomas still has those green shoes because he was a Boston Celtic in 2016, but they have not changed it. Another player I had to say, Kemba Walker, Charlotte Hornets. He played for the Charlotte Hornets, so he has those blue-looking shoes, and they haven't changed it. Even though he's a Boston Celtic now, and should have green shoes, but they don't change the shoes. And I'm not even talking about getting Nike shoes, Adidas shoes, but I'm talking about more like change the color of the shoes. That would be quite nice if they have a new team. And I know they could change the numbers because I don't know if you guys remember in season 3 at the end, Kevin Durant signed with the Brooklyn Nets in the summer and changed his number from 35 to number 7. But they changed it back later this season to number 35 again. NR15, thank you for coming. My best pull from a pack is a 106 Nikola Jokic trending player from a trending pack. Congratulations, Intelligent Giant. And that definitely is a very nice pull. I don't think I've ever got a 106 that high of a card. How long is the stream going for? I'm going to say 24% until my phone ends. Because right now, live stream, one of the few times it actually is working pretty good. So I'm going to go for maybe one more hour, half an hour. Thank you, NR15. Nice pull, bro. My best pull was the Anthony Davis in the heist event. Yes, that was very hard to get, the Anthony Davis. Took many people a long time. Luka Doncic, what a slam dunk. Do you know that NBA Live MOA boosted the expiration date for yearbook promo? When I checked 2 days ago, it was 24 left, but now I checked yesterday was 3 days. I think what happened is that, I don't know, I think they kind of randomly extended the yearbook promo. Maybe because the NBA playoffs. If you know what happened in Wisconsin, there are a lot of players that are going to boycott the games or stop playing. And I don't think EA doesn't really understand what's happening. So that's probably why they extended the promo. I don't know. I don't think they know what they're going to do next. 2020 has been a very strange year. It's the NBA players, and there's that James Harden, the NBA gameplay ones. What time is it for you? My time right now at California is 9:10 p.m. 9:10 p.m. So at nighttime, but not too late. My best pull was a 107 Luka Doncic from a trending pack. My second account. That's a very nice pull as well. 107 Luka Doncic from a trending pack. Very nice pull. Yeah, I don't even think I'm opening many packs. Yeah, where is that James Harden? Right here. That player just fell down. That's what James Harden looks like. And he has those nice clothes that in the card art. Shot clock violation. Michael Jordan, yo, thank you for coming, Michael Jordan. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming, Michael Jordan. How are you? Michael Jordan, I think I forgot to ask you, but what state are you from? Or country? I keep forgetting. I don't know if I asked you yet. Who won, Heat or Bucks? I'm pretty sure Heat won, but I didn't see the whole game. I'll check right now. The Heat won 115 to 104. I just checked the stat. And I just a couple minutes ago I kind of saw the final score. The Heat won 115 104. Jimmy Butler had a very big game. Jimmy Butler. So I said before, there probably are going to be upsets in the playoffs because of the bubble. 2020 is a strange year. So there should be more upsets. And it looks like the Milwaukee Bucks are sort of like a one-man team. They're not playing incredibly well. And Giannis, free agency rumors, of course. A lot of people think Giannis is going to leave Milwaukee, either end up in Golden State or Canada with the Toronto Raptors. So there's a lot of uncertainty there, especially if they lose. So they kind of have to win an NBA championship. There's a lot of uncertainty there. Kind of like LeBron James' first season. And as I talk NBA games, that James Harden scores. I'm rooting for the Heat as well. And rooting for Jimmy Butler, of course. Spent 1 month collecting enough NBA cash for buying it once. Yeah, it's very hard to get NBA cash. 10,000 NBA cash to buy one card, basically. That's very hard to do, so amazing job if you are doing that. Buying what? He's probably buying like the newest card in the promo. Don't judge my first game. Look at the Magic. Yes, rebounder, of course. It's only one game, of course. And you have to play the rest of the playoffs. So the Milwaukee Bucks could still win. There's only one game. Of course, I'm rooting for the Miami Heat. I always root for the underdog teams. For sure. For sure. And who do you guys think is going to win the Utah Jazz Denver Nuggets series? Who do you guys think could win that series? Jamal Murray playing really well. That's going to be tomorrow night. Usually ABC does not have Usually ABC does not have a game at nighttime. They usually have a game. A game on the weekdays, on Tuesdays. Usually they have games on Saturday, Sunday, but it's special. Game 7 tomorrow night. Now Denver Nuggets are the 3rd seed, and then the Utah Jazz is 6th seed. Now if the Utah Jazz defeat the Denver Nuggets, they're a 6th seed versus a 3 seed. And 6 seeds have beaten 3rd seed many times before, so it's not that's not a huge upset, not a huge surprise. But whoever wins that game, Denver Nuggets, Utah Jazz, they will play the LA Clippers. And the Los Angeles Lakers, they will play the winner of the Houston Rockets, Oklahoma City Thunder. So it'll be quite interesting. Can you add me on Facebook? Yeah, I can. Tell me your Facebook name. After a live stream, give me a couple hours. I'll try to find you and I'll add you. Or you can add me as well. Maybe you already added me. My Facebook is called Victoria Ye. As a nickname player, George the Iceman Gervin. Yeah, if you add me, maybe I can find your team and I play you next time. Trending pack. I love Nuggets because I want Bobo to succeed. Yes, I love Bobo as well. I love the Nuggets as well. And Michael Porter Jr. I'm rooting for those young players, of course. Oh, so NBA gameplay, let me ask you a question. If your Oklahoma City Thunder win, if they beat the Houston Rockets in a couple of days, do you think the Oklahoma City Thunder can defeat the Los Angeles Lakers? LeBron James, Anthony Davis. Do you think Oklahoma City can defeat the LA Lakers? That'll be a very tough matchup. I assume that most people will say the Lakers will win. And by the way, let's say the Houston Rockets win, can James Harden defeat the LA Lakers? LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Oh, I was wanted to say as well, Russell Westbrook, I think, hasn't played in the NBA playoffs yet, right? He was injured. So if he comes back, I know the injury isn't that serious, but if he comes back, can he help James Harden? Can he help that team? I know that in recent playoffs, James Harden has been very exhausted, very tired, because he's kind of the main offensive player on that team. He also passes the ball a lot, so he's very tired. So I think Russell Westbrook can help relieve him and help him hopefully score the basketball more, help him with scoring. Of course, Russell Westbrook shooting the 3-point shot very poorly this season, shooting mostly mid-range shots. So he's like a 90s player, like a DeMar DeRozan today. My name is Rebounder Guy. Okay, I'll check later. Too Hype Gaming, thank you for coming. And that does happen sometimes. So I appreciate it, the support. Sometimes people leave, sometimes people want to watch, sometimes people don't want to watch. I don't care. Yeah, maybe because the only players that are playing right now are on the Lakers are LeBron and AD. Who do you think is going to win the MVP? The MVP of the final, the regular season is probably going to be Giannis again. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Westbrook was back at 2. Also, Two Pipe Gaming. Check out his channel. He also make great NBA Live Mobile videos, so check out his channel. And check out support each other if you're the Rebounder, NBA Gameplay. I am L. James. Support each other. Y'all make NBA Live Mobile videos. So check each other out. Check each other's channels out. I think my battery, let's see, 15%. I can still go. Maybe for 20 minutes. Who do you think is the first, second, and third best New York Knicks? Okay, that's a tough question. I have to look up the roster. I think it's that Morris player, right? But they're all free agents now. I think got traded Morris. Marquis Morris. Or I get him confused. So I think a lot of people say, I don't get to watch the Knicks much. But I think a lot of people say that Mitchell Robinson is probably their best player. That's what I heard. The second best player is probably R.J. Barrett. And the third best player, there's a lot of 1-year players. Like, they're just there for 1 year. Expiring contract. Their third best player is probably Frank Nikita. I would say there. Just randomly. I heard Mitchell Robinson is very good. R.J. Barrett's like so-so, I believe. Okay, and then Julius Randle, I think he scores a lot, but I don't think he's that great of a player. Sometimes I see on the comments that he's not that great. He's kind of a selfish player. Dennis Smith Jr., if you remember him, Dallas Maverick, he was very good with that. Now he's the New York Knicks. He's declined a lot. Elfrid Payton, Orlando Magic, now New York Knicks. I heard he's pretty good. But yeah, the New York Knicks, they have a lot of like 1-year players. Like Taj Gibson, like Julius Randle. And it's an expiring contract, so they have enough cap space to sign a big free agent. But nobody really wants to play for the New York Knicks. And they didn't even win the draft lottery. So they're not going to get LaMelo Ball. So they're going to have to build a team around a top draft pick, but not a top 5 draft pick, and build a team around R.J. Barrett and Mitchell Robinson. And Kevin Knox, I think, is Kevin Knox a good player? I don't think he's that good. By the way, a lot of players like Kevin Knox, like Frank Nikita, those younger players, a lot of times on losing teams, they'll get traded away. As the team rebuilds, they have Theo Pinson, University of North Carolina. I remember him. I bet he doesn't play much. They have a Mo Harkless from Portland. Of all time, that's what I mean. I think the most improved player award is going to go to John Morant or Zion Williamson. So I am L. James. I think, what's his name? Brandon Ingram, I think, won the most improved player today. If you're still here, I think Brandon Ingram won. So number 1, Mitchell Robinson. Number 2, R.J. Barrett. Number 3, Julius Randle. I agree with that as well. They're pretty much the same. I heard great things about Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson in high school was a McDonald's All-American player. I know a little bit about him. So I think he was drafted in the second round, so I'm not surprised he's quite good in the NBA. Of all time, number 1, Patrick Ewing. Number 2, Frazier. Number 3, Kristoff or Willis Reed. That's a very good choice, NBA gameplay. Walt Frazier. Who here is a Warriors fan? I don't know if anybody here is a Warriors fan. I think last time, James, you say you're from like the Northern California. Yeah, slam dunk. Slam dunk. That's what I used to say in my gameplay. I said it for you. Slam dunk. I was just trying to think of something to say in my gameplay. I agree with your list. Patrick Ewing, I think, is the greatest one. Walt Clyde Frazier was a great player, and then now is an announcer for the New York Knicks. I didn't get to see him play much, but I heard he was a great player. New York Knicks, they love him. 2-time NBA champion, so he was part of the championships. I don't know why, but I don't know much about Willis Reed as well. But I feel like Willis Reed should be number 2 over Walt Clyde Frazier. I don't know why. Because I don't know, I just remember him. People saying how great he is. Let's look at the difference between Willis Reed. So Willis Reed is 6'10", so he's like a power forward. It was back then in the 70s. Let's hurry up and play a game. I think he has a Damian Lillard. I forgot his name. CJ McCollum. And Devontae Graham. So Willis Reed, a 2-time NBA Finals MVP. So Walt Clyde Frazier was also there, but Willis Reed won those MVP finals. I'll probably say Willis Reed over Walt Clyde Frazier. A very interesting question. 7-time All-Star, Willis Reed. And then Walt Clyde Frazier is a 4-time All-Star. So I exchanged it and put Willis Reed over Walt Clyde Frazier. But again, I never really got to see him play much. Yeah, the New York Knicks, even though we talk about him a lot, the media, American media talks about him because they're in New York City. But they only won a championship twice, in 1969, 1970, 1972, 1973. So only 2 seasons they won. And Willis Reed was Finals MVP for those teams. And Walt Clyde Frazier was there as well. And I even really know that too much about that. Because I don't pay much attention to the Knicks. And Phil Jackson was also there as a player. Phil Jackson, who later coached the Chicago Bulls, coached Michael Jordan, and coached Kobe Bryant when he became Phil Jackson became the Lakers coach. 11-time championship. Patrick Ewing died. No, not Patrick Ewing. His coach, John Thompson, passed away today. John Thompson. In my thumbnail is John Thompson, him coaching Patrick Ewing, a young Patrick Ewing in college. So, if you check my title is Rest in Peace, John Thompson. Make your top 10 players of all time. Wait, Charles Oakley might be 3 for all-time Knicks. Charles Oakley was also a very good player. No, yeah, it was Ewing's coach. Hey, Victoria, is there any send friend request option in NBA Live? If so, please send a request to my account. Super B Curry. Send friend option. No, I don't think there is any send friend option. I don't think there is that option, but sometimes you can add each other to the league and then you can play each other's teams. But I don't think there's any friend option. And if you go on my Facebook, add me on Facebook, then I can maybe add you as a friend. But sometimes I cannot find the teams to play against. Can you say the things you recommend for NBA Live Mobile 21? There's a lot of them, but I'll just say the normal stuff. People want better defense and rebounding, so you want to be able to defend. Sometimes there's players that go and dunk and you can't defend them. So better defense, of course, and more rebounding for the centers. That's probably my number one thing. I think it's 5% now, right? It's almost done. When I go 1%, I'm going to stop it. And that's my number one. I think that's most people's number one. Okay, and for number two, I'll say this. More superstar styles, but especially the shoes. I like to see add color, different colors to the shoes for every player. Like I said, Kemba Walker now is a Boston Celtic. You should have green shoes. Now, back then, he was a Charlotte Hornet, so he has blue shoes, but now he still has blue shoes. I like to have them to change the color of the shoes. Add headbands, add accessories, sleeves, face masks, those things. I would love for them to add that to the game. So it's not the same player over and over again that we grind for, that some people even spend money on. Hopefully there's a change. So like, they already done some of it, but hopefully there's more of that. That's what I want to see in the game. Hey, Flying Deer Pig. How are you? Long time no see. You're an old friend. I'm pretty sure LeBron James still has a red one. Yeah, he still has those red ones, like those orange shoes. He's a Cleveland Cavalier. So I would really like to have those new shoes. And Flying Deer Pig, back then, check out his channel. He used to make NBA Live Mobile pack opening video every single day. He's now like one of the... He's an old friend of mine, Flying Deer Pig. Good, how are you? I hope you're well, Flying Deer Pig. It's nice to see you again, my friend. Oh no, I got an ad, unfortunately. I'm good. I hope you're well. Hope you're well in Minnesota. Flying Deer Pig, everybody in the chat, NBA gameplay, rebounder, IMO Deer Pig is like one of my old friends that used to play NBA Live Mobile. I think he stopped playing it, but he's my old friend. For sure. I know a lot of people quit the game, but nice to see you come back, Flying Deer Pig. Nice to see you again in live stream. Yeah, I'm still uploading. Just really quickly. Yeah, I'll check the league late after the stream. I got an ad. I think my phone's about to end the battery. The Flying Deer Pig, take care. Take care. Have a good night. And it was really nice seeing you again. And IMO James, NBA gameplay. Thank you for coming. The rebounder, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. I think my phone's about to... Thank you. Have a great night, everybody. Take care. I didn't have time to do the top 10 list. But yeah, MJ, LeBron, Kareem. All great players. And everybody has a different list, and I appreciate it. So I'm ending the live stream. Good night, everybody.